Really? Oh my God! What? What? Damn!
More shocking than the EKG. Young Kilo G. Yeah, you know me. Be Thor with the magic
Yes!
key.
Oh!
Stay on the
Oh
floor,
my
'cause I
goodness!
been
Somebody
low-key.
clip that, please. It's you, man. SumOfMan. Like the grand total. Not that I think that I am, man. And we here with my man NoirKing 6 and his cousin, right? Kumi Rauf.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
I
That's
look. I
right.
did. Me and NoirKing. We go way back, high school back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
And we play games all together, and I didn't even know y'all were cousins. And I met you, Kumi, a few years ago. All
Yeah.
right, and with your brand, I love being black, right? And we're gonna get into that, but I want to start off the right way and ask you the first question I got on my list, right? And one of the things that you told me early on was that you used to work in tech.
hmm
And I thought that was really interesting because I was working in tech myself at the time, and I still do work in tech in certain fields. You know what I'm saying? But music is really my passion. But the question I want to ask is, how was your experience working in tech?
First of all, thank you guys for having this opportunity and this platform to just be able to get on here and just dialogue, especially with us brothers. I feel like
Man,
we need this. You know what I mean? Working in tech, man. So I studied computer science. Jumped out college and just went straight into tech. The industry was bad when I jumped out, so there wasn't many opportunities since we had the crash and everything. So I just took
mm-hmm.
whatever I can get. Then bubbled to my second job, which I actually got to code finally, because that's what I went to school for, paid all that money, and I'm still paying all that money for. But I mean, ups and downs, you know what I mean? The first job I found there was a lot of racism in the workplace. And that's something that you kind of don't expect coming out of college, and you're like, all right, about to get into this professional workplace and whoop-de-wop, it's going to be this way and that way. And it wasn't. You had white people running around the office saying nigga and all this other stuff. And I'm like, wait, for real? This is an office. Like, we get paid to be here. Why are you, you know what I mean? Why do you feel like it's okay to speak like this? And you know, it got to a certain point. I just blew up. And I just blew up at one of these cats, and like we was about to come to blows and everything. And, you know, boss came through and sat us down in the office and everything. And then, you know, long story short, I realized, oh, they're all on this stuff. Like literally everyone in this office thinks that's not really a big deal. So I'm like, yeah, my days here are super numbered. I'm out. So I went to another place where they didn't have that issue. So I won't say that everybody white is going to have this issue or all of corporate America is going to have this issue. No. But certain places do. The second place was a lot better. I learned a lot more. They really made it a good learning environment, but still at the end of the day, it just wasn't for me. I knew tech in general just wasn't for me. I love tech. I use it every single day. I'm a photographer, videographer. I'm a coder, 360 developer, VR, all that good stuff. But I didn't want to do this for somebody else. And that was my main thing. So, you know, I actually got fired in 2008.
And that's fair.
For working on too much of my own stuff, too many of my own projects. And, you know, I got fired. I'm like, all right, bet, you right. You know, my bad. You know what I mean? Got fired. And I just never looked back. I was like, I got to continue in this other path and do something else.
Okay, that's powerful. That's really powerful, and that kind of brings us to our second question. But before we get into that, I just want to let the folks on Twitch know how we're connected, right? And kind of the circles that we're in. I think that's important. My lady reminded me that thank the lords for women. Okay.
Yes.
for black queens in this mug.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Helping brothers out since day one. And so
oh yeah.
for me, I also am a software engineer, and I've written all kind of software as well, and I use software every day, and I love technology as well. But Kumi and I y'all know NoirKing and me. We go back. We fight each other all the time. We always in the stream getting it in. All right. So shout out to him. He the reason I stream in the first place. Okay. But Kumi and I. Hey, here we go. I got this shirt from him. We've been around each other in community for several years, and like I've talked about it on stream a lot. Y'all know me, man. I really care about black people because I'm black and I want to see my people succeed. Okay,
Right.
I care about the whole world too, and I want to see everybody succeed. But I have a special place in my heart for the brothers and sisters out there who look just like me because I know what the struggle is like. You know what I'm saying? And I know, right, that we really need to be able to come together for us to grow. Because if we as a people don't come together, then things are gonna fall apart. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to be able to do my part. The brother Kumi wants to do his part as well. So we out here in community together. You know what I'm saying? He has his brand, I Love Being Black. He also has another business where he takes people on trips internationally to Africa. And so we met in those kind of arenas at different social events, whether he was selling shirts or I was selling shirts, or I was rapping, or he was presenting his businesses and his ideas and things like that. So we've been around each other for a number of years, and I thought it would be a good idea to have him on this show because, like I said, man, I want to be able to support brothers like Kumi and what they do, and I really believe in what Kumi does, and I've seen the effects, right, of his actions and his work. And to me, that's the biggest thing. Like, I want to support brothers and sisters off top, all right? I especially want to support brothers and sisters like Kumi who do the work and the work shows itself. You know what I'm saying? So that's why. And he happens to be NoirKing's brother. I was like, what? Cousin. I was like, how, bro? I was like, for real? Like, I didn't even know. Thank you, Facebook, all right? Facebook is the reason.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting.
I know, right? Yeah, for sure. I saw him on Facebook.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they both comment on the same post. They start talking to each other. I was like, y'all know each other? He's like, yes, my cousin.
Hold on. yeah.
Real,
I'm still waiting on my NoirKing primer into this gaming world, man. I feel like I'm not worthy to be talking to y'all about gaming. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk about anything else unless you want to take it to the Mario Kart or Street Fighter streets. Like, listen.
Street Fighter streets?
Well, maybe not the new
now,
Street Fighter.
Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, see, he forgets that when we used to hang out at our aunt's house, he would always hop on the Street Fighter 2 and be like, all right, guys, let me just show y'all how this done right quick. Yeah. Like, back when we had this, back when Auntie had the Sega.
Yeah, listen.
Wow.
In high school,
man, good time.
In high school, I used to bring 1 quarter to Round Table. Every single lunch during freshman year, I would go to Round Table, I would get me some pizza, and I would bring 1 quarter, and I would jump on Street Fighter and just demolish everybody.
Wow.
And I told myself, if I lose, I'm not playing again. I'm not. That's it. I'm not getting back in line. I'm not playing again. I'm gonna demolish everybody with 1 quarter, then I'm done. Sometimes, every now and again, I get to the next class, like, I'm just gonna stay, man. I'm on a roll, like, you know what I mean? Like, I would just stay there and kind of cut the class, you know. But I did get good grades though, so don't, I'm not trying to steer the youth wrong or whatever. I did that because I already knew, the subject matter we're gonna be talking about. Clean that up.
Hey, for real. Come on,
yeah. What was it? No one is too cool for school, guys. All right.
Hey, listen, tell them.
That's true. That's a big part. Big facts. Sorry about that. It looks kind of weird. I had to change my Zoom screen mirroring, but that's really actually dope. My man said 1 quarter. That's dedication right there. Okay. Look, all them other kids, they're gonna bring a pocket full of quarters. Like, I'm gonna play as many times as I can. You're like, nah, bro. I'm about to put in work.
Right. And it makes you not want to lose. You're like, this is my only chance to entertain myself.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lose.
For real. At that point, you can't lose. You know what I'm saying?
That is true. That is true.
Real quick. Who did you play?
Take a guess.
Ryu. Or is it Ken? Haha, Ken.
So Ken was my main dude. Only because I could hit the Ayukin. And I hit it with the jab normally. You don't hit it with the fierce or the strong. You hit it with the jab, so you can come back down with a little leg sweep and just, build a little combo off of it. I can hit it at the drop of a dime. Just I just be picking you apart, especially with throw the fireballs in there too.
Yeah, that's what.
But I will say with certain people, he had a disadvantage, so you had to choose Chun-Li. You had
Chun-Li. Okay.
Listen. Had to choose Chun-Li.
Yeah, Chun-Li, Street Fighter 2.
Yeah. With that down kick, forward on the down kick, it's like it's almost like a cheat kick. It's almost unbeatable, So look, y'all got me all hyped up on Street Fighter. Now I want to go play again.
Hey, yo, look, we can have a session.
Hey, whenever you want to, man. I got Street Fighter 5 loaded up, bro.
Hey, look, I got Street Fighter 5 on my computer too, bro.
Definitely.
I ain't even played it yet, so don't laugh at me. You know what I mean?
Look, it's all good, okay? Look, I'm gonna tell you right now,
It's all
Street
good,
Fighter
man.
and Mortal Kombat are the two games that NoirKing beats me at the worst. Okay, I don't stand a chance on Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. Look, I kind of stand a chance on Street Fighter, depending on who he picks, depending on who I pick. All right, Mortal Kombat, I don't stand a chance at all. It's curtains. I gotta practice my Mortal Kombat. Okay.
All right.
Hey, you know what though? That's only because, okay, just to be fair, my older sister, that was the only game that we used to play.
Oh.
And Kumi, man, Alex, whenever we used to go down to the family reunion, man, Alex would always beat me with Quan Chi. Because she was like the master of Street Fighter. Yeah, our family, we didn't on Mortal Kombat, sorry. We didn't really do much in our family as far as gaming, except for fighting games. Like whenever we all used to group together for the family reunion, everybody knew, okay, we all gonna go fighting games at least once. It was, man, good time. And Super Soakers. That's what I remember the most about.
Real life game.
Okay, that's what's up.
And Super Soakers, yes.
And then,
yes.
So me and the homies with like the cats I grew up with the high school with, we would get on the Mario Kart, man. Like way back, and we're talking like Super Nintendo version up to 64. You know, then I think GameCube and, you know, all that in the Wii. But we would never use the Wii controller. We always throw the, I think it was the GameCube controllers worked on the Wii. So I don't want to be doing all this and getting tired and sweaty. Man, we're just trying to get this work in, you know?
For real.
So what there was 5 of us. There's only 4 characters that could play simultaneously. So the person that got 4th got kicked out on the next round. And then the dude that was waiting would get off the bench. Dang. So that was motivation right there, you know.
Yeah, that's how you get it in,
kicking
bro.
Like it old school, that competition, passing the controllers, man.
For real,
for real.
Yeah. Like you got a 2-player game. Somebody
can pass the shout out right quick to Couch Co-op, okay?
Man, that's how we all learn. Look, I don't want to talk about this right this second. You and I, NoirKing, we talk about this later. But people will be complaining about these games and the glitches. I'm like, bro,
don't worry, don't even put that in games.
I'm like, look, man, I used to play with 2 buttons, all right?
Right.
I'll take some glitches. Right. I had 2 buttons on my controller. Okay.
Yeah.
That's our history right now. The fact that we can even play online, bro, that's a blessing. I never imagined we'll be like this. Like playing full, beautiful games online together. Okay. And it's wild. So
60 frames per
second. I played in 8 bits. All right, I played in 8 bits every 2 minutes. played in 8 bits.
But you know what though? I remember 8-bit music. Yeah, I remember when Xbox Live launched, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is gonna fail in a month," and I was like, "Are y'all tripping? You can play with anybody anywhere in the entire United States that has Xbox. That's awesome."
For real. Who don't want that?
That's awesome.
Who don't want that? Then that's what made Xbox really dope back in the day.
Black children who have to struggle appreciate.
That's facts. I appreciate all of it. Okay, because I remember what I started on.
And I think for me gaming in essence was an escape. You know what I mean? It was, and that's also partially why they call me the escape artist, which is one of my other names. It was an escape for me. You know what I mean? If I'm stressed out, if I'm dealing with some stuff, whether it be school or just life in general, or, you know, white supremacy or whatever it is, like I can escape into this game, and for a little bit, I can just push all that behind me. You know what I mean? So I take that methodology when I play pool. Like pool and traveling are my 2 biggest releases for like stress. I even, and so during this pandemic, I'd be playing pool on the phone, you know what I mean? So I don't want to get out there and catch COVID in real life.
Nice.
But on the phone, I can smash on people still and blah, 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 do my thing and just kind of get it in. It's not quite as good, but it's still, you know, it still kind of serves some of the same purpose.
Man, I feel that, yo. I feel the same way. That's why I like fighting games, because I be going crazy on them things. I was up last night playing my partner until like 3 o'clock in the morning. All right, we was going crazy. But speaking of escape, one of the other questions that I did want to ask you, you know what I'm saying, so that the people can really understand the kind of stuff that you really do. So after you left, right, you started 2 businesses. I Love Being Black, and you also started an international travel company. Can you tell us about your experiences in the motherland as well as some of the things that inspired you to make the decision to create that business.
Yeah. My inspirations for travel, my biggest inspirations were my parents.
Mm.
My dad had traveled to West Africa in the 70s. He was in Nigeria and Ghana. That's where I got my name from, Kweku Kumi.
Mm.
And I was named after a chief there, you know what I mean? So I grew up always with like a longing for Africa. I grew up always knowing that I am African. You know, a lot of times it's something we have to kind of discover or go back and reclaim or something like that. But it was always something for me. You know, we'd be with the dashikis, like from yay tall, you know what I mean? Like old school pictures in the early 80s and stuff with the dashikis, all the fabric that he would bring back, all the, you know, like this necklace, I've been wearing this since I was like 2.
Wow.
Yeah. And it just, you know, it'll break every few years. I'll snag it on something and he'll just re-put it back together.
Oh, for real?
But these beads are trade beads. These beads are worth more than like the gold chains you see on people's necks and all that. So sometimes cats from West Africa, they see this necklace and they're like, my brother, please, how much for your necklace? And I'm like, no, it's not for sale, man. No, please, I will give you $100 for your necklace. I'm like, no. Oh, you must know what this one is, you know. And they'll give me that whole line. And I'm like, yeah, man, this is chevron, this is amber, this is, you know. So yeah, definitely my parents. And my mom was the first Black stewardess back then, they called it, for the airline that she worked for.
Oh, wow.
World Airways, I think it was called back then. I think they might have parlayed a few times into like American Airlines or something like that. But so she used to bring home coins from she had a bag of coins from other countries that she had traveled to. And me and my brother would just play with these coins and like pretend we were in that country. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Italy? Oh yeah, okay, I'm there right now. Where you at? You know, and we just make up little games with it. And again, it all comes back to gaming and escaping. You know, so yeah, those are my 2 biggest inspirations. And then I think your second question was, what did I feel, or what on the motherland? Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this: I don't know anyone who's been to Africa who's been to an African country who doesn't want to go to more.
Yeah,
that's literally the feeling you get. You go to one and you're hooked. You're like, oh my God, because you realize, like, even though I grew up knowing all this stuff about Africa and this and that, and having the utmost respect, you go there and it really soaks in, and you realize how much we've constantly been lied to about Africa, constantly lied to about our past, about our culture, about our history, about the things that were taken from us, right? About the things that we have to be proud of, that a lot of us are ashamed of. Like our skin tone, like our lips, right? Like the wonderful fabrics and stuff like that our people have created, like the symbology, you know, the all the symbols, the Adinkra symbols in Ghana and stuff like that. Like these are things we can be proud of, that other cultures have similar stuff that they're proud of. So why aren't we proud of our own stuff? So part of me soaking up stuff was also unlearning a lot of stuff too, stuff that I didn't even realize that I had on my mind. You know, stuff that, like, it's not natural to be afraid of the police.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you go to a lot of countries, cop pulls up behind you, and I'm just like, oh damn, like my natural reaction is to do like this and close up and like fight or flight. You know what I mean? But like, they're like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, it's a cop behind us. And they're like, so? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm tripping. And that's trauma that we built up that we don't even know how to address. You know what I mean? So I feel like for stuff like that to come out, for you to address stuff like that in your own energy, you have to go and travel. You have to go see this stuff for yourself.
I agree 100%.
I'll give you that.
And speaking of travel, what did it take for you to make that leap from the tech industry into entrepreneurship and into creating a world traveling business for Black people?
3 things. So I took a hike, and you know, I was just feeling like I'm not on the path I'm supposed to be on. I read a couple of books. I read The 4 Hour Work Week. I read The Alchemist. And I got, I got fired from corporate America. Those, it was just the right amount of things happen in the same amount of time to help me to just shift off of the path that I was on. Because I knew if I continue on this path, keep working for somebody else and doing this, like I'm not going to end up where I want to actually be. So why would I continue on this path? This is the riskiest path of all. People, entrepreneurship is risky. No, this is risky because it's not actually what was fulfilling me. And I'm not saying working for somebody else is fulfilling. It can, but for me, it just wasn't my path. So went on a hike, went to this spot called Inspiration Point in Santa Barbara where I was living at the time. And it was the birds, the air, just nothing was there except me and the birds in the air. And I just sat down and was just honest with myself. What do you want out of life? What do you want? And I came up with 3 things. I wanted to control my own time, right? I wanted to work for the upliftment of Black people, and I wanted to travel the world. And I was like, if I have those 3 things, I'm truly happy, I'm truly free, and I can say that I'm on the path that I'm supposed to be on. So I'm like, all right, every ounce of my energy is going to go towards putting me on the path to get those 3 things. And now I have them. Man, life is different. Woo.
Yep.
Life is different.
Yep.
I believe that 100%, yo.
Yeah.
I've seen the ripples of your work and what you've done, and people still reaching out and hitting you up to continue to facilitate these trips, and that's a powerful thing. I think it's needed. I really think it's needed. I have not been to Motherland myself, and I want to go. I am living to go. All right,
we gotta get y'all there.
And
we gotta get y'all
look, there. We gonna make it. We gonna get there. All right, and I want to ask you as well. You mentioned a little bit earlier that you still continue to do work in tech. How do you think that your mentality has shifted, but also the kind of work you have done has shifted recently as far as tech goes?
I'll say that corporate America set me up in a way. Like a lot of people leave corporate and they go into entrepreneurship and they say, "Oh, F corporate America." Nah, man, I took all the skills that I learned and I'm just using them here.
Yes.
I learned a lot of stuff in corporate, bro, that like either I wouldn't have learned or maybe it just would have taken me a lot longer to learn. And it was kind of like I looked at it like a fast track, like, oh, that's how you do it? Okay. And plus they threw me into a lot of situations, not just me, all the developers, they would throw us into a situation where we're not experts at something, but we're telling the client that we're an expert at it. So I'm like, oh, I'm on the plane, like reading up, like, okay, I've never even seen this language before. Okay. Okay. I got it, but I mean, the things that I'm doing differently now, some of the trends I'm going with, but not because it's a trend. I'm going with it because it's a new way or a better way for me to do what I'm already doing. So like 360 photography and videography, that's huge, bro. VR is huge and AR is huge. It's going to change the world. It's going to change the entire world and how we do things. Imagine if VR and AR was just super normalized before the pandemic hit. Bro, we would have all been like, oh, that ain't nothing. We just get on. I'm VR. I'm AR learning right now. Okay, what is that on the? Oh, I'm doing biology. What kind of leaf is that? Oh, boop, boop, boop. My phone is just tell. Oh, that's kind of leaf. Okay, what kind of tree is that? What kind of bird is that? Whatever. Like, it would have been super normalized already, but we just weren't there yet. So I wanna get there myself, and I want to help other folks get there and see the applications of technology like this, especially with gaming. Oh God, y'all are. I don't even need to tell y'all nothing about VR and gaming. Like it's already changing a lot. You know what I mean? But really, in the future, it's gonna change like a ton of stuff, and I'm sure y'all could educate me on that part of it. You know what I mean?
That's true. I think gaming is definitely changing, but VR is making its way into gaming and making its way into gaming as an actual thing. There's a game called Half-Life, right? And Half-Life as a series, it just takes a very, very long time for them to create Half-Life games, and there's always a lot of anticipation around them. And so people have been waiting on Half-Life 3 for a very, very long time, right? And it's still not out.
Yep.
However, in the meantime, in between time, they actually created a Half-Life VR game that people say is decent, and it puts you into the world of Half-Life. And I mean, I've seen a lot of footage of it, and it actually looks nice. Like, it looks like it's well done, and that's big, especially for a game as big as Half-Life. you know, which is something like highly anticipated, has a very strong cult following.
I think my brother used to play.
Speaking of VR, speaking of that too, that Star Wars, the Rogue Squadron or the new Squadrons game, that one is apparently 30 times better, if not 100 times better in VR. So I might actually pick that up so I can actually do my first ever VR review. You know, that'd be pretty dope.
Know.
As I am a huge Star Wars, huge Star Wars fan. So it only seems logical, you know, to go ahead and drop that one as my first one.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope. We're almost at time. We got a couple questions in the chat. Somebody would like to know how you stay committed on this journey.
Ooh, I could talk for an hour on that.
Let me ask the question my way. Can I ask them?
Go ahead. you can still hear, correct?
Yes. I was the one that said hi.
Oh.
I also love being black. I'm so happy you guys are doing this. Yay, black men talk together. When you had your first big obstacle, like you made a shift, you've changed your whole daily life around this thing, right, that you're passionate about, and then you had whatever the first big am I gonna fail at this, right? Like, is this the moment where I make it or break it?
Yeah.
Like, what was that like, if you can think of it in general? Like, how did you push past that? And in general, if you won't, how do you stay committed? How did you stay committed then? This is my real question.
That's a great question. And I know exactly the time that it happened. It was directly after I had left corporate. So I got fired that day, and I had walked to work. So I'm like, man, I gotta walk home. It's like the walk of shame, you know what I mean? So I'm walking home. First half of the walk, man, I was pissed off. I was sad. I was like, how am I gonna tell my mom I lost this job? It was literally the best job I could hope for, the best corporate job I could envision in my mind. You get paid over $100,000. You work under 40 hours a week. There's a bean bag at work. There's a full-size pool table. There's beer in the refrigerator. You get to wear shorts and flip-flops because that's the culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how did I lose this job? You know what I'm saying? And that's what got me into traveling, because they had me going back and forth to clients, and I saved up all those miles, and I learned what points and miles were through that. Anyway, the second half of that walk home, I'm like, yo, wait a minute. This is what I wanted. I get to decide what to do with my time and this, and that. So I'm running and hitting bushes and hitting stop signs, jumping up, you know what I mean? Just happy as whatever. But I got home and I was like, okay, now what do I do? Like, I didn't actually plan further than this point right here, you know? So I sort of regressed a little bit. I started doing like coding jobs for people. I started making websites. I started doing this, and a little bit of money was coming in, enough for me to eat, barely, but enough for me to eat. But I had money in the bank, so I wasn't worried about the money aspect of it. But then I looked up and I realized I'm doing the same thing that I was just doing that I wanted to get out of. I'm remaking that scenario because it's comfortable for me. So my first hurdle wasn't, you know, getting robbed or having no money in the bank or this and that. My first hurdle was one that I created for myself, which was me trying to emulate the situation that I was most comfortable with, which was working for, 5 or 6 years in corporate America. So I'm like, I got to get out of this. Like, I actually don't like making websites for people. So why am I going to keep doing it if it's all 100% my choice? Why would I still do that?
Yeah.
Because I think that's what we always do. A lot of people do, maybe not a lot, but at least a few people are going to do stuff like that, where we keep doing stuff that's comfortable for us just because we can, because we know how to. And it's like, no, if you had the choice to 100% control your time and your energy, what would you choose to do? Don't tell me what you can do. Tell me what you would choose to do. If it's fly fighter pilot jets or something like that, like, tell me that. You know what I'm saying? If it's take apart Mercedes Benzes and turn them into carriages, tell me that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell me exactly what you would love doing with your entire being and your entire essence. And that's something that it's the most simple question, but it's the hardest one to answer. What do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? And so you have to really get yourself
good
into
words
a space
to live by.
To be able to, like, even answer that to yourself. You know what I mean? So that's sorry, that's a long-winded answer, but that's where that's where that first hurdle came in for me, and it was like a slight deviation from the path, but not really on the path that I really wanted to be on. But it was a little bit away from this regular path I used to be on. So,
yeah, that's man.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for the question.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff.
my man just dropped a jewel farm just now. Okay. The time is 1:33. I do want to be conscious of your time. I know your time is limited here.
Yeah.
Do you have?
I got maybe let's do 5 more minutes.
Okay.
5 more minutes.
Okay. My partner has another question. She says, "Do you find Black folks reluctant or hard to sell on going to the motherland?"
Ooh. Yes,
Ooh.
but that's getting a little easier.
Oh.
That man, she's hitting some hard hitting questions there. The meat and potatoes.
she is not playing, all right?
Yeah, right. She's like, let's get down to it. I love that. Yes.
I'm trying to
But
go.
I try to hit with, I think the saying is hit with kid gloves when it comes to like our people. You know what I mean? Because like, for instance, when Black Panther came out, people was in a line waiting to see it. They was wearing like the kente cloth and the African garb and all this stuff and everything. And so I was in the crowd. We actually did a live stream on this. You can see me asking these people these questions still on I Love Being Black, right? This was years ago. And I was like, oh, wow, you got the African garb. Okay, that's dope. Like, can you name 5 African countries? If you can, we're going to give you a free I Love Being Black wristband.
Wow.
A lot of people couldn't do it, bro. A lot of people wearing the garb couldn't do it. I'm like, Africa has more countries than any other continent. And it's where we're from. And you wearing some of the culture from there. But you can't name 5 of the countries, not even just 5. I'm not asking you for 20 or 30, but 5. You know what I mean? People are like, asking their friends like, Nigeria, is that a country? Nigeria? I don't know. Is that a city? I don't know. So, and when you ask people, but even now when they say, oh, I want to go to Africa, you'll say like, okay, well, where do you want to go? They say, oh, I don't know, just anywhere in Africa. And they say that because we haven't researched it. We haven't gone and done the research. But if you ask them, where are you planning on going next year? They'll say Paris, Rio, Spain, and Africa. And I'm like, you just named some cities in a country and a whole continent, though. You're comparing Paris and all that with an entire continent of over 1 billion people. Think about it.
Billion.
Right? Because we envision Africa as one place with a bunch of Africans in it. We don't know that like the folks in Morocco are completely different than the folks in Zimbabwe. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
the
sir.
folks in Kenya do not speak the same language as the folks in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? We don't know stuff like that. And but again, I take it back to I hit with kid gloves because I don't want to be like, see, you so stupid, you didn't even know all these countries or something like that. Because then I'm a snob, I'm a travel elitist. I don't like doing that. And I also recognize that the reason we don't know these things is because we were taught they were bad. We were taught that like you need to distance yourself. Don't call yourself an African. No, don't do that. You know what I mean? Call yourself an American. Call even though we don't get the benefits of being an American, which is American. All Malcolm X was talking about with the human rights stuff. Anyway, I digress. But I'm glad that more Black people are taking an interest. More Black people from here are taking an interest in Africa. I'm glad. And I hope that we continue on this path of learning and re-education because there's so much to re-educate about. But I'm glad that social media is here as well because it's hard for you to say, oh, I just thought everybody in Africa was running around in bushes with no food and no clothes. When you see your homie live streaming on the gram, like, oh, I'm popping bottles on a rooftop day party in Johannesburg, like, hey, what's good? Like dancing to some funky Afro house music and stuff like that I've never even heard. Like, so it's hard for us to keep stereotypes when we have good imagery that's in front of us, kind of depleting from that, you know?
Oh yeah. To speak on that as well, to our history in the continent, somebody had mentioned to me a while back that in certain parts of Egypt in the Nile, There was like currents, water currents that would flow out into the actual ocean, down into like the Cuba area, into like Mexico and whatnot, and that's where we as a people first entered into the Americas, way
Yeah.
before
Hey,
Columbus and the rest of them.
man,
Yeah.
speak on that. Matter of
Mm-hmm.
fact, here's one of
Oh
our
yeah. Yeah.
face masks right here, right? This, let me hold this up. I don't know how good it's going to show on the screen, but this, can y'all see that?
We can see it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an Olmec. They found these heads in Mexico. And on the back of this, I don't know if that shows either. Oh, it's backwards, but it says, it's supposed to say, see, this is trying to edit me out. Hold on.
Yeah,
right.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Hey, yo, it do look fire. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Anyway, yeah. It says they came before Columbus. So exactly what NoirKing is saying.
Yep.
We came before they did. Long time, but they're not talking about that because then they have to acknowledge that we had seafaring capabilities.
Exactly, man.
We were the ones that created the first ships.
Yes.
We were, you know what I'm saying? That we were able to travel and not conquer. We were able to go places and we didn't have to colonize everybody. We mixed in with the local folks that might be there already.
Exactly.
That's who we are.
Yes.
Right? And taught people.
Because we
taught people.
As a civilization, I'm gonna say it too right now. For all of y'all who's thinking out there, who may have mused that Europe was the first, no. Egypt was the first real civilization. Period. Period. That was in Africa. All right. We are literally the birth of the nation, like for real, like legit, man. And like, I was over here keeping quiet because I'm like, man, Kumi talk about the motherland, and I'm like, yo, everything he said is so true, man. They stole our diamonds, you know what I'm saying? They stole our chocolate, they stole our gold, and then they told us that it wasn't ours, man. Like, nah, that's
problem,
not,
bro.
that is, So, man, Kumi, again, man, I love you, fam, and I love all the work that you out there doing. Back to what he was saying though earlier about his moms being a stewardess. I'm pretty sure that she was the one who talked my moms into becoming a stewardess, which most likely got her into travel as well. Because like again, we y'all don't, like I said, man, we real fams out here.
Yeah, we come from mamas. Our mamas was doing it.
Oh
man.
Yeah. They was also real strong in the movement too, man. And again, it's just I thank you, my brother Najee, man. I thank you for bringing us together. Like, man, it's crazy to think one slightly tilted in my favor match of Dragon Ball Z has helped spawn.
Is that what helped start this?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
I saw that story.
Yes, as you see in the back.
Oh my gosh,
we got the we got the oh yes, we got the Mirage in the back because we really play Dragon Ball Z out here. Goku, man.
Yes.
That's the one. So also by the way too, just to let y'all know, Goku is black because
that's what I heard.
Almost everybody in Japan, everybody in Japan, like people. All right, we was the first non-black samurai, so Tom Cruise can eat it. Last Samurai with Tom Cruise was a lie. All right, that was us. That was black people. Again, we are the shit. Our people is the one, man. Don't ever let nobody tell you that we ain't shit. Right. We are powerful. Don't ever let nobody tell you different.
Straight up.
That's right.
Straight up. And I just want to say thank y'all for coming through. Like, Kumi, all the work that you've done, you know what I'm saying? I'm impressed by it, all right? And I've supported you since day one. And I'm glad that I can be able to hold this space that we can have this conversation because it's important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
And we need to be able to share this knowledge with each other, and we need to be able to have these conversations, especially as black men. You know what I'm saying? Man, shout out to you, NoirKing, bro, because you really got this stuff jump started. Okay.
Y'all got to hit me up for the next one, man.
Hey, man,
we could talk about anything.
Definitely.
We could go deeper into the travel. I just booked my my first ticket to, like, I haven't traveled since January, and I was in Cuba in January. We brought a group down there. biggest group that we've ever brought anywhere, which was 20 people.
Nice.
We try to keep them sort of small.
Mm-hmm.
But I just booked a trip to Brazil for March because there's a crazy deal, like $350, something like that round trip. I'm like, what? Okay, I'm going. I love Brazil. Brazil's amazing. So yeah, I got to learn how to travel again, you know, because all these airport stuff with the PPE and the mask and the this and the that, everything is different. So
yeah, but that's gonna be an experience though.
Hey,
if anybody can do it,
I'm gonna vlog the whole thing.
Hey, Kumi, do you have time for one more?
Let's do it.
All right. So real quick, I'm gonna give a quick history on I Love Being Black. I remember when Kumi came to us. He came to my house and was like, "Hey, cousin, I'm selling shirts at the Oracle." Or no, we wasn't even at the Oracle. It was at the Marriott downtown. And he was like, "Yo, I want you to come and sell some shirts with me." And I was like, "I don't want to do that. I'm young. I got stuff to do." But you know what? For the fams, for the fams, I'll go down there, man, and just to see. That was like one of my first real times being around so many Black people in one space doing something that wasn't like, you know, wasn't a sideshow, if you will. It was actually something like impactful. We were at the Black Expo. We were at the Black Expo. And I remember selling shirts. We sold shirts. We sold shirts all day. I mean, we was on the grind. And at the end of that day, I was like, man, you know what, Kumi, that's good stuff. You doing good stuff. Like you really you doing good shit. Like I was like on the fence about the brand, but after that I was like, yeah, bruh, like just to see so many people come together, see so many people happy, and now I see people on the street with the shirts, and I'll be sitting there like, damn, man, you probably bought that shirt for me and you don't even know it. It's good, man. It's great.
That's powerful, bro.
It's great, bro. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we rocking and rolling with the brand. I don't think we talked about I Love Being Black brand at all, but we got 6 million on Facebook, and a lot of those, I think a third of those are outside of the U.S. now. So about 2 million are outside the U.S. So sometimes I'll pull up in an airport, and it's happened where people will be like, "Are you the I Love Being Black guy?" You know, I'm like, "Yeah, we were in Johannesburg." I'm like, "Yeah, how did you know?" And I'm like, "Oh, I probably got a shirt on." And I looked down and I didn't have a shirt on. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, how did you know? They're like, "Oh, I recognize you from Instagram or Facebook or something like that." I'm like, "Wow, that's crazy."
That's what's up.
So, and we had another brother come up and say,
"Hell yeah!"
He learned who Marcus Garvey was from our page. Man, he went and got his friends and stuff. Was like, "Is this
nice?"
Y'all? And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Stay right there." And he went to go get his boys and came back and was like, "Listen, I learned who is in South Africa as well." He's like, "I learned who Marcus Garvey was from your page." He's like, "I just want to say thank you for educating us, for making it fun, for making it colorful, and posting all these good things about Black people." I was like, wow, okay, people are listening. Because it's one thing to see it online and people give you props, but it's another thing for people to come up to you in person. Like it gets me every time, you know?
That's powerful right there.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
And
that's what I'm talking about, man. That's why I support you, because the work that you do is needed, and I think it's important to make it accessible. Like you were saying with the kid gloves, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of knowledge, and it's a lot of things that we as a culture have to really change our viewpoint and change our perspective on. And it's difficult when we have an entire really false history that's been drilled into us since we were young, since we were inside of the womb. All right. And it's, you know, it's just powerful that brothers like yourself are out there doing the work, and that we can continue to progress those things. You know what I'm saying? And it takes focus. It takes direct and intentional focus to do those kind of things.
Yeah, definitely. All right, y'all. I hate to get up out of here, but I got to dip.
No, it is all good.
Thank you so much for having this.
Please all good.
Hit me for the next one. I'm in. It's already, you know, as long as I'm not watching my daughter on that day, because she would be all in the camera and everything. You know, that's powerful too, though. You know, maybe I'll do one of those.
Hey, look,
it is, man. It is supporting Black families, bro.
Man, take and Black fathers take care of their kids. All right.
That's right.
Because we here, we in our kids' lives.
Man, for sure.
We here.
That's right. Let them know.
Oh yeah.
Let them know.
Straight up.
All right, fam.
For sure, man. Take care. Stay blessed.
Respect.
All right, bro.
And stay black.
Thank you again, y'all.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Stay
Thank
black.
you. Thank you.
Peace.
Woo!
Oops.
So look,
That was great.
that was really dope. Thank you, bro, for collaborating that and like putting that together. That was really powerful. For real. I think this channel needs that.
Man.
This channel needs that because I've been thinking really about it for a long time. We talk about it a little bit, but I'm just like, yo, like what do I really want to make this channel? Like what do I really want to represent? And that's what I want to represent, man. Just the continuation of our evolution. I still want a game too, though.
Hell yes.
And speaking about gaming, look, man, you done already beat my ass in it, but let's get the run back. All right.
Hop on, bro.
Yes, MK11. Let's do our official first to 10, bro.
Wait, I want to ask him.
Okay.
Oh, first to 10.
First to 10.
Okay.
I'll give my butt kick for the stream. It's okay.
Okay, check it out.
I will go slightly easier on you.
Go as hard as you wish, man.
I don't know if he told you, but some funk happened around the channel, and a fellow black person behind the scenes told him that he was being niggardly, which was very hurtful and very confused. It was like so confused. So that might be, that internalized racism. Another big reason why this the kind of stuff that we need to engage in. Disengage in the indoctrination of the white supremacy and re-engage in the real ass shit that only a family and cousin love and being black and being happy about loving blackness can bring. So thank you for being a part of that.
Man,
as you've always been a part of the stream,
no doubt, man.
without even knowing foundationally.
Oh yeah,
straight up. Look, shout out to him.
Nah, man, I really appreciate you too, man. Y'all solid people, man. Najee, you's a cool cat, dog. Cool cat.
I appreciate that.
I remember when my man was freestyling in bars, kids. Like y'all don't know, okay? Me and Najee, man, we go back, bro.
Way
we go
back in the day, like childhood back in the day. Like we really, bro.
Act. You hopping on the Mortal Kombat?
Yep, we're gonna hop on that. We're gonna hop on that Mortal Kombat, bro. Look, I'm gonna take the hands, bro. I'm gonna take the hands. I ain't even gonna be mad about it. I already know what's gonna happen. So look, I'm gonna put the stream.
Oh, don't
down.
worry. I'm gonna go easy.
That's what he's saying.
And we'll hop on that Discord.
Yep, there we go. Everybody go easy on you until you beat the ass one time. Okay, when we first played Dragon Ball FighterZ, he was going easy on me. I beat him one time. He put out that GT Goku, it was curtains. So we gonna see y'all. So I'm gonna put.
It's not. I wish y'all. I'm so sorry that I didn't have the footage from that one because we weren't recording on those very first ones. But like, if you guys go check out the channel, NoirKing Gaming, you can smoke me, so it's fine. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, I had to practice. Right.
But yeah,
I had to really get in the line.
So we're gonna get in on this Mortal Kombat.
For real.
I'm gonna start up. I'm gonna go start up on my MS.
Okay, I'm about to do the same. So the stream's gonna go down just momentarily, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring it back up. Okay. Well, peace, y'all.